I've spent the last 2 years making over 100 YouTube videos. What started out as a hobby quickly developed into something that allowed me to develop all kinds of skills. And although it still is a hobby today and I have no idea what I'm doing to this day, it's definitely developed me as a person, and today I wanted to share some of those things with you. Ever since I was young, I remember always loving creative endeavors, either painting, coloring, thinking up some kind of craft, reading, or learning about something. And I even loved teaching, which can date back to almost when I was 5 or 6 years old, when I actually taught my siblings different topics about things I was learning at the time. In 2012, though, I started making YouTube videos just because I BMX'd at the time at the skate park, and I wanted a way to kind of show my friends what I did at the skate park and add some music and make it more interesting. So I started making these bike edits that I would post on YouTube. On that same channel over time, I started posting different camera reviews and different test footage, but then I eventually abandoned that channel since it wasn't really what I wanted to do anymore, and had a couple of years between that and the next channel, which was my bodybuilding channel that I started back in 2016. Now this one was a little bit more refined. I focused on it a little bit more intensely, and the quality of the videos was a little bit higher, but again, still way too long, and it just was not good editing, as you can imagine, for back in that day. But I did make videos kind of documenting my nutrition, my different workout routines. But again, this didn't really feel like me. I wanted something where I could express that creative nature that was deep inside me, and I wanted some kind of way to show that and share it with the world. And this brings us to 2021, after I graduated with my master's degree. As privileged as this sounds, I went to visit my parents down in the Caribbean and had about 6 months of pretty much nothing to do. So I spent this time kind of getting to know myself, doing a lot of journaling, and then I turned to day trading and learning more about finance, since that was the area I was interested in and what I had studied. So when I started doing this, I felt I needed to have a way to really document what I was learning, since I felt like if I just learned this stuff and let it simmer, I wouldn't really reach anyone with it and it would all kind of go to waste. So that's where this YouTube channel was born, and it was really just me sharing that knowledge with other people, putting it in a format that would help me remember it as well as help others learn it as well. I was offered a tutoring job after I graduated, which had very bad pay structure, and I didn't really want to spend all that time preparing to teach students and then have nothing to show for it myself. So I decided, why can't I just do this myself? Of course, I wouldn't be paid right away, and YouTube takes a long time to get paid. I'm still not monetized yet, but that's okay. I just wanted to build something and have an arsenal of things under my belt that I could take with me, assets that I could take with me, and have these different packets of learned materials that I could refer back to and for other people to learn from as well. So I decided to venture out on my own and start a YouTube channel. And as you can tell, if you are an original subscriber or you go back and look at some of the first videos, they're very different from my videos today. They used to be these voiceover videos with my crappy Apple headphones that had my iPad recordings of me writing about the materials I learned.
So as an example, I can illustrate why this is the case, and we can consider our weekly or bi-weekly trip to the grocery store.
And sure, there were some examples and colors in there, but it was just a very different style back then, since I wanted to just share those ideas. But my friend suggested making the intros where I just recorded my face and explained what the topic was about, to make those a little bit more interesting and have a cooler backdrop. So taking advantage of the Caribbean nature I was in, I sat by the pool in my parents' house and had these palm trees in the background, which created kind of a nice appeal to start off the video. So that's kind of what I started doing about 15 to 20 videos in. And of course, as many of you can relate to, this all started off very slowly, very slow to grow. My first 30 subscribers probably took me 6 or so months. But I kind of started not as seriously about YouTube as I am right now, and I actually kind of value that because I learned to love the craft. I learned to do things properly, to actually think about the topics I wanted to create and to provide value in that way. So I'm also not in a rush. I do this because I love it, and really that's kind of where it all started. It's from that place of loving the learning and not so much about turning this into a full-time business. About 6 months later though, when I left the Caribbean and moved out to Toronto here in Canada, I thought that I would slowly start losing this YouTube channel because of work and how intense that was. But although I did stop for a little while, I soon started to miss that feeling of creating a weekly video, having that routine, having that time to think and learn about a topic, and I slowly started bringing it back. I started doing it every 2 weeks to start off, just to give myself a bit of a buffer, and built up an arsenal of videos that I could pull from in those weeks. And then soon after, I found myself going back to weekly videos, having learned how to edit thumbnails by myself and script a bit more coherently and develop the videos into something more interesting. But 2 years later, here we are. I'm over 100 videos now. I've moved over 4 times to different places, and I've learned so much along the way. So that's what this video is about. I want to share with you guys what I've learned from YouTube, and if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel or anything for that matter, this can be applied to so many different areas of life. That's kind of just what I want to share with you, what doing something consistently over the long run can really help you develop in terms of skills and mindsets. It's kind of funny how it goes full circle though, because I started noticing that I liked making videos about personal growth and talking to you guys face to face. And YouTube actually turned out to be the most important self-growth tool, even though that's what I talk about in my videos. So it's kind of this funny connect in 2 different ways. So I decided this video makes sense to make because we're talking about personal growth, where YouTube has provided me the most personal growth. So this is for all of you that want to start that creative endeavor. You want to just dive in, but you just haven't done it. I'm telling you, just do it. Trust me. Whatever it is, it doesn't really matter if it's YouTube or if it's a podcast or if it's painting or coloring or whatever you want to do. Just get started, do it once a week, turn it into a routine, into a habit. I don't think I could stop doing it now. Like on Fridays, I edit my videos. On Saturdays, I post them. Throughout the week, I script and thumbnail. And it's just become a part of my routine to where I don't think I could stop doing it anymore. But I kind of love that about it too. It becomes a part of your life and a part of your creative expression. Stick to it for at least 2 to 3 years. Just put in the work, and you never know where it might lead you. I've honestly didn't think I could learn this many skills just from making YouTube videos. It's pretty incredible. And although you might not make a single dollar from it, all those skills can also be applied to whatever job you might be looking at as well. So although it might not directly correlate to money, you can absolutely utilize those skills to create money from that, or to build towards a future that you're more passionate about. All right, so I moved outside here because it's an awesome day. It's like 14 degrees Celsius here in February, which is crazy. But anyways, the first thing I learned from doing YouTube videos over and over again was an increase in my self-confidence. I used to be so bad at even just talking to anybody, let alone a camera. I was always very camera shy, didn't want to be around anybody. And that really changed when I started making videos. I started scripting and feeling very passionately about what I was writing in those scripts, and that would translate to how I speak on camera. Although I'm still not perfect by any means, I have personally noticed a crazy difference, even in just how I talk, in how loud I talk, the lack of ums and likes, although they're still distributed throughout my speech. It's a lot less than it used to be. And of course I still get imposter syndrome, but it's at a point now where it's quite a bit less than it used to be. I'm also a person that's pretty socially anxious, and this has definitely helped me get better at that. I just imagine helping people behind the camera, like I'm talking to a friend over dinner, trying to explain to them what I've learned and what I want them to accomplish. I've also found that researching topics a lot and knowing a lot about what I'm talking about has helped me with imposter syndrome to some extent. It won't by any means disappear overnight, but it has made it a little bit easier. And confidence also is built from commitment, right? So the more I committed and posted every single week and had consistent number of weeks where I was continuing to post videos, I was building that confidence within myself that I could keep myself to the schedule and to rely on myself. The next things I learned a lot about was commitment and motivation. School really ruined motivation for me, and I struggled a long time thinking it was burnout or some other thing that was going on with me, why I couldn't really focus and commit and be motivated by something. But over time, I learned that it wasn't just school by itself, it was more the subject matter that I was learning that was the problem. In school, I used to leave everything until the last minute, but making YouTube videos, although I still wait to the last minute sometimes to edit a video and stuff like that, but that's just the nature of life. It's always going to be crazy and things are going to come up last minute. But it's taught me to just be more proactive in both my scheduling and being realistic about what I can get done in a certain amount of time. I know that if I have one evening during the week where I'm going to be tired after work, I can't sit down and write 3 scripts and edit 4 thumbnails in one evening. It's just not possible. Although I like to think it's possible, it most definitely isn't, and I've just gotten better at being real with myself. Initially, the motivation was hard to muster, especially with about 3 subscribers, which was my mom and my 2 siblings. But over time, it kind of became easier as I grew my audience a little bit, and now I have 631 of you, so thank you. But I feel like I have an obligation to give you guys good content and to really develop this relationship with you guys about personal growth and to kind of be a role model for you guys as well. So I feel like if I skipped a week or delivered a video that wasn't up to par or my usual standards, I would be letting you guys down, and that really ended up motivating me too. The third thing that was kind of unexpected that I learned from YouTube was a significant appreciation for filmmakers and other creators. Before, I would just kind of wave off different sponsorships or if they were running ads on their videos and kind of felt disgusted, but seeing that now, I'm kind of embarrassed I used to be like that. I'm always making sure I support other creators, I like their videos, leave a comment, and I see how much work goes into those videos now. So I have a new appreciation for what these people are doing and how much work they're putting in, and it puts it into perspective for me. I've especially been getting more into the kind of cinematic short film kind of side of YouTube. It absolutely amazes me how much effort and time goes into these videos and just how incredible it turns out. I'm definitely going to kind of be making a shift here on the channel soon, so I hope you guys are ready for that. I want to try making a little bit more cinematic type videos. I'm very excited about it. I'm going to be a beginner, so it's not going to be great at the start, but very excited about where this could go. I want to make something that's a little bit more emotionally appealing, and if you guys are familiar with Better Ideas, his In Action is a Slow Death video, you should definitely go watch that because it really motivated me to create something like that. I mean, it's just incredible. Money really is not a driving force for me. Sure, everyone would love to make money off YouTube. There's no denying that. It would be awesome. I'm not saying I wouldn't take the money if it was given to me, but I started to realize as I made more and more videos that regardless of whether I'd ever be monetized, I would probably continue to make videos no matter what. It's the idea that I'm putting content out there, that I'm sharing my ideas, even just for myself in 30 years time, to look back and see what kind of knowledge I was taking in and what I was learning, and then also just to share with you guys, put those ideas in your head too and help you see things from a different perspective. So that's definitely something that came a bit unexpected, but also kind of welcoming since this world is so geared towards making money. To me, it almost became kind of like a video journal where I could share my ideas, not just with myself, but with the world, and it created a sense of purpose for myself. Making 100 videos also made me appreciate hard work. At the start, I would quickly slap a video together and it wouldn't take me more than an hour or two, but over time, as I've wanted to become more motivated and bring better quality videos to you guys, I've noticed that I've spent more and more time making sure videos are better. And this goes from everything from scripting to making the thumbnail to recording the videos to editing them to post-production to color grading. Everything I've taken up a notch since I got started, and I want to continue to do that. For me though, it perfectly aligns with the vision for this channel though, because I aim to get better every single week and do something that challenges me every week, and having to post a video every week is the perfect emulation of that point. I want to create a video every week that's better than the one I created the week before, and the only way to do that is by working hard and trying something new that I haven't tried before and learning a new skill. This is what I love most about YouTube. It's a constant battle to become a better version of myself. Just enjoy doing this and have gotten great feedback from you guys, so I'm very happy for your support and thank you. do something that brings out your personality, something you can do on a consistent basis. Put in that repeated effort time after time. Don't just do it 10 times, do it 100 times, and in my case probably 1,000 before I'm actually good at it, and just see what happens. The process has proven to be more than rewarding for me, and I'm 100% sure it'll do the same for you. As I mentioned though, I'm always trying to get better. My next chapter here is to make things a little bit more digestible, a little bit shorter videos, which this one is obviously a long one, so this one didn't go very well, because I know attention is valuable in this economy and want to be mindful of your guys' time as well. My inspiration mostly comes from channels like Better Ideas, Isabel Page, which she owns a tiny home and makes these cinematic videos about her life of Riza, which you guys might know of, who's been popping off lately on YouTube. She makes some awesome cinematic films. And Noah Kagan, who I just love his style and what he creates. And it's not just their cinematography and their way of recording their videos, it's also their state of mind and their ideas that I tend to enjoy listening to. Content creation in general can be a pretty lonely endeavor. So I think my next step for 2024 and beyond is to start building a community of small creators that we can kind of work together. We can ask questions, we can discuss different things, we can talk about our feelings and how things are going with our channels or whatever creative endeavor we're doing, and we can kind of help each other out in that respect and kind of help each other move forward, create kind of a backboard for our ideas, or just a friend in the time of need. So I think that's kind of my vision going forward, and I'd love to hear from you guys too. Leave it down below what you'd like to see from this channel. So leave it down below if you're thinking of starting a creative endeavor. I 100% guarantee you will not regret it. Just post that photo or edit that video, paint that picture. Do whatever the creative endeavor is that you want to do. Repeat it, don't give up, don't stop, and just do it for that feeling of the process and the emotions that come up when you do it, and I promise you, you will not regret it. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.